Hello everyone, I wanted to show y'all what I do for chainsaw maintenance. I'm just getting started today, and every day I start by going through and maintaining the saw a little bit. And it's going to be hard for me with one hand to show you step by step what I do, so I'm just going to run through and point at some things and talk about it a little bit. One thing I do is I clean the air filter. This is a washable air filter, and so it can be washed with soap and water. And I like to do that every night, but I didn't do it last night. So all I did was tap it out, and then I put my mouth up against there. I put my fingers over the sides and I blow on it, just a really quick blast of air a couple times to kind of blow the big stuff off. But I like to have a clean air filter every day. The death of a small engine is by heat, and so cleaning that air filter will help keep it cool. And then you can see this is really dirty after one day of use, because I cleaned it before the last day. And we can see here that's really dirty. And so I'm gonna take this parts brush and clean all this off, and clean all this off. And then I take my fingernail and I clean this off. This is part of the brake. So this is the brake handle, and when you push it down, it engages this coil. It tightens this coil up around here and stops the sprocket from moving. So I want that to be clean. You can see that's one day of use. You can just imagine what it probably looks like after not cleaning it for a week. And we can see inside of here, if I can get the camera, that's the sprocket right there. And that's got a little wear on it. And that is a replaceable part. It needs to be replaced after it wears out so much. And this saw, this is a 550 XP. And this saw runs really fast at the cost of torque. It doesn't have a lot of torque. So this saw is not good for bucking up logs or making firewood. It's good for ringing trees and cutting down a lot of small trees like we do in TSI. And when I get to a big tree, I'll just girdle it, because this saw is not made to be cutting on big trees. And that's how I like it. It's really lightweight. Yeah. So I clean all this off, and before I took the bar off, I sharpened the chain. So I'll show you here. So I sharpened each of these teeth, you can see there. And yesterday I filed the raker down. This is the raker. And I filed it down just a little too much. It was a little too aggressive. You have to be careful when you file these down, because it can make the saw really dangerous. And so I had to change the way I sawed a little bit yesterday, because I filed this part so aggressively. But I file it every day on these softwoods. I'm cutting box elder mostly, and it's pretty soft wood. Have cut a few oaks and a few pecans, and they're much harder, hardwood. And then also hickory is super hard. And when I'm cutting a lot of hickory or other hardwoods, I'll file every tank. So every gas tank, I'll just touch it up with the file. And the way to learn how to file is to practice. So do it every gas tank. And if you're a beginner, you're gonna mess it up. I did. Everybody messes up when they first start. So just bring a couple chains that are freshly filed, and every tank, file it up. And after a couple filings, if you're a beginner, it's gonna get out of whack on you, and just put on that other chain. But the only way to get good at it is practice. So if you practice every tank, in no time you'll have some skill when it comes to it. One other thing I do is I inspect the bar and I clean it up a little bit. Obviously it's pretty dirty. I haven't touched it up at all. And one thing that's very important is every day I flip the bar and I flip it. So if I kept it the same every day and not flipped it, if I kept it the same, it would wear out on the side that I use it on the most. And so by flipping it, you even the wear out. And when you flip it, you need to make sure and clean out this little oil hole. This is where the oil comes from right here. It's the bar oil that goes in the side right there in that orifice. It comes out of here and it goes into there, and you can see it's plugged up. And so every day I clean that out. And the way I clean it out is I just find a leaf with a petiole that's about the right size, and I bite off the end there, and I just use that leaf petiole to clean it out. And I run it down the rail there to clean it out, and then I'll blow that out with a strong blast. And then another thing on the bar is you want to look down and make sure it's not bowed, but also you want to make sure that the gap that the chain runs through doesn't get pinched. They can squeeze in together, and they can also separate. And there's actually a tool that if they separate, there's a tool that you can use to get them back in line. So I inspect that, and then also I'll run my fingernail over the edge, and you can hear it clicks there. My fingernail gets caught. So what I do there is I take the flat file and I file that off on both sides, all the way down on all sides. So four times basically. Make sure and get the nose. And then once I've filed that off, and it doesn't need to be a strong file, it's just a really small, but every day I have that. So if I didn't do this every day, it would just get worse and worse. So after I file here, then I set it up and I file across the top and just get lightly, I file to get what I just pushed up. That's what I do on the bar maintenance. You want to check the nose sprocket and make sure it works good. Sometimes I'll have an oiler there that you can oil it or grease it. And then also for the greasing, there's a hole right there that I'll put grease in, and you can see the grease come out down there. And usually one pump is all it needs. Let's see, that's pretty much it on maintenance to get started for the day. I always use fresh fuel. I use non-ethanol, and I use the manufacturer Husqvarna. I use their fuel mix because they make their saws ideal for that fuel mix. And I also use their bar oil. It's a little pricey, but again, this is what they recommend for their machine. And I'm a believer in keeping a good quality machine running, so I do this maintenance every day, and I use the appropriate parts. Let's see what else. You want to check the triggers, make sure they work. They can break sometimes. And of course the rope, you'll want to check it and make sure it works. And if you use it a lot, it's a cheap part to just change out that spark plug a lot. So don't be afraid to change that. And you want to check this right here. This is the chain catcher, and this is a breakable piece. So if you've run the saw quite a bit, this might be missing. But when you're running with the bar on, if the chain comes off the bar, this catches the chain and stops it, and also keeps it from coming back and hitting you. All right, that's pretty much it. I'll show you, this is where I'm working today. I've done everything over here, and now I'm gonna go this way and work on that. And I'll just show you, there's a bunch of mature pecan trees. So I'm doing crop tree release in this tree planting that was done 30 years ago with a CRP program, the CP33 or CP31. I can't remember right now. I think it's 31. It was done 30 years ago, and I'm coming through and just finding the good trees that were planted and cutting all the box elders around them that have grown up. And you can see when you look through there, you can see there's a lot of sky because I was able to drop a lot of trees in there. And then over here it changes, and for whatever reason, I don't know if the soil is different or if these were planted later, but it's not as thick, especially with box elder. I think they were all done at the same time, so there's just a difference there that is quite a bit different in the trees. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you later.